Gamers are getting dumber, study finds. I don't need a study to tell me something this obvious.
Gamers are now more easily cognitively overloaded when they play games and are more likely to avoid strategic complexity.
Agreed.
Oh my god, look at all these graphs. We're gonna
Your mortal enemy, I know.
read this entire thing. Oh, this is great. This is what I was waiting for. Gamers have become less interested in strategic thinking and planning. In our blog post, we focus on demographic cohort comparisons and how motivations are linked to in-game preferences, usually using slices of contemporaneous data and survey data. But because we've been collecting data from our gamer motivation profile for about 9 years, we can explore how gaming motivations have changed for a long period of time. In this post, we'll deep dive into a long-term trend that we've uncovered over the last 9 years.
This should be blatantly obvious, by the way. Think about it for a second. StarCraft completely has died off. Real-time strategy games in general are completely abandoned. What's dominating in the shooter genre? Call of Duty, Fortnite, and similar fast-paced action games, and the only holdout is Counter-Strike, pretty much, honestly, at this point. Yeah. League of Legends, completely outscaling and outpacing Dota, and Dota is a more complex game. Lost Ark. Most people quit Lost Ark because that game is actually really hard. And I know that some people are going to say, but Dark Souls is a hard game. Well, Dark Souls is not a hard game in actuality. I would never call Dark Souls hard by any metric imaginable. When a boss has an average of 3 to 4 to maybe 5 attack patterns, and it acts... every single boss in the game acts exactly the same way according how far away your character is from them. Yeah, that's not really a hard game. You just, try and try again until you magically get it right. It's not that complicated. But yeah, in general, you can see that all the games that require complexity are not appreciated. They're just losing players, and all the games that instantaneously gratify you for doing the bare minimum are going up. Recently, I also noticed this when I've covered Diablo 4, and I was saying that who asked you to make the game less complex with the affixes, because the affixes were bad. And keep in mind, in Diablo 4, the affixes were bad because damage on Tuesdays could not be gotten at any point because you couldn't make it a Tuesday anytime you wanted. But they weren't complex. And I had a bunch of people comment about it. What do you mean? The affixes were too complex. Damage on Tuesdays. And I was mind blown, honestly, by that. Now, granted, I already did not think highly of Diablo 4 players. But, that was something that I kind of was jaw-dropped about a little bit, honestly. But yeah, stuff like this exists. People want easier stuff. Look at Diablo 4 again. The game has been literally remade to, the only stats on gear are plus damage and plus life. Have fun. There's literally nothing else here. And people are screaming, amazing success! That's autism. That's really bad.
Gamers have become less...
because all of this is essentially... to a real-world comparison outside of gaming, previously you were multiplying in your head, like, 5 times 9 is 45 and stuff like that, and now you're barely able to subtract things, or plus things to each other. That's the decline.
Interested in strategic thinking and planning. The gaming motivation, the 12 motivators that are measured in our model were identified via statistical analysis of how gaming motivations cluster together. For this analysis, okay, so this is the details. In our analysis sample, 75% identify as male, 21% as female, and 4% identify as non-binary. That means the mean age is...
Sounds like bullshit, but okay.
24. Wow. So, wow, that's crazy. So you're telling me most people that play video games are young guys? Oh! Standard deviation of 7? Of 7? For both directions? What? There's no way. The huge swing. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, seems possible, honestly, because I have seen a lot of statistics where they report that 30% are female at this point. Now, I don't know how true it is, but I have seen a lot. So, the standard deviation of 7 kind of seems on point here, considering you have non-binary.
Isn't the third standard deviation 99.7? I think it is. Yes, it's 97. And so 97, so 3 times 3 is fucking 21. So 21.3, and let's just round it up. Let's say it's 22. 22, that's 46? No way. No way. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Not the way that this is used here, but okay.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into this. It's completely irrelevant, right? But anyway, 22% identify as casual gamers, 68% as core gamers, 20 as hardcore gamers. Okay, let's see. This probably, yeah, okay. Then if 68% is core and hardcore and only 12% is casual, then yeah, you know what? Probably this does make a little bit more sense. It probably
No, that this your identification with hardcore core or whatever does not explain this number in any way.
has to do with the way that they got those people. And so demographic distribution, mostly North America, Western Europe.
He's essentially implying that all the females are either casual or core gamers, and that's why this number exists like it is. No, that does not imply that at all. Thank you, asmongold.
As a data, okay, so yeah, pretty sure. What's our strategy here? Of the 12 motivations, look at this. Of the 12 motivations, strategy has changed the most. When we looked at long-term trends across the 12 motivations, we found that many motivations were stable or experienced minor deviations.
What are the motivations, I wonder?
Over the last 9 years. Strategy was the clear exception. It had substantially declined over the past 9 years, and the magnitude of this change was more than twice the size of the next largest change. So this is between 2015 and 2024. And so you see the amount of people that care about strategy here, and this is over time. Wait a minute. So RTS games aren't falling off because of the quality? They're falling off because people are just fucking stupid? Oh
Wait, was that a hot take?
my god. Look at this. It went from 50 to 35. That's insane. Oh my. It's right here.
What
do they mean by
confused.
strategy? So what I think that they mean by strategy, this is what I'm assuming, is that what they mean is people play video games to solve complex problems as a method of exercising their mind and exercising the strategic part of their mind. And that's probably one of the 12 motivators that gaming has. I think a great example of this is Path of Exile. So, chess, something like that, yes. And that's what they're talking
Path of Exile or chess, yeah. They're the same thing.
about. That's what I believe that they're talking about. Strategy, yeah, Path of Exile is the only game that you can have a 30-minute build guide video, and there's not a single second of gameplay.
I'm not sure. This could also just imply the strategy genre. But probably not. I don't know. They don't specify what their 12 whatevers are.
It's just a bunch of spreadsheets and Excel spread and fucking like graph.
Also, I don't trust this graph because again, strategy games, which are the ones that represent strategy, the word in general, the best probably, have declined substantially. I mean, it kind of depends on what you actually consider in these things. This is why I don't trust graphs or anything unless someone shows me the source data. You know, I have so many questions here because this graph does not matter. I can make a graph like this that, you know, describes my shitting pattern over the years. But, you know, make it look fancy and whatnot. I actually want to know what about what their methodic is and what their baseline for the statistics is.
Graphs, and then all the comments will be like, wow, this looks so awesome, I can't wait to play this. And everybody will love the video. Yeah, Factorio, exactly. Yeah, 1 hour, 30-minute, more like it. Yeah, of course. And so, why are we charting motivators using percentiles? What do you mean? Motivations, IQ traits, man-made constructs, entirely relative, no natural 0-point values. Okay, that's fine. How big exactly is the 33% drop to 33rd percentile? Both percentiles and psychometrics are fairly abstract concepts, with the magnitude of a drop of 33rd percentile can be difficult to grok. I guess, is that grasp? To help anchor this finding, here are some real-world magnitude equivalents to more familiar metrics. It's the equivalent of all men aged 20 plus in the US losing 17 pounds of weight. It's the equivalent of all adult men losing 1.3 inches in height. So that's like whenever you meet your date versus whenever you put your height on Tinder. It's equivalent to everyone worldwide losing 6.7 points of IQ. I guess this is so...
I don't like this way of representing things, honestly. I really do not. Because that gives validity to random things. Because I don't believe this graph in general, honestly. Because, again, I think this very much depends on what they actually consider in this data. Because maybe they actually do consider Path of Exile, for example, in this. Maybe they consider League of Legends to be a sample of strategy percentage or whatever they want to call it. You know? And I don't know if I would agree with that. Because League of Legends has been kinda dumbified down really, really a lot nowadays. Again, there's a reason they needed to make an Iron League. Okay? That is just undeniable at this point.
Your height on Tinder. It's equivalent to everyone worldwide losing 6.7 points of IQ. I guess this is before TikTok came out. Oh my god. Gradual persistent decline that predates COVID. We conducted the longitudinal analysis. Several things stood out. The decline in strategy clearly predates COVID, as it's noticeable from its earliest data collection periods, and the trend line suggests that it started before June 2015. Bro, I wish we had the data for the year.
Yeah. Of course this predates COVID. Yeah. Well, think about it. When did StarCraft died? Close enough. A long time before that. And, by the way, if COVID was responsible for this decline, we would see that. We would see people talking about, oh my god, how games suddenly magically became so much easier. But since we don't have any kind of ginormous examples of games just all magically at one magical point just all becoming easier, then we can throw this out instantaneously.
2003. Bro, because I feel like 2003 would have been like 85%. MMOs were popping off. RTS was going crazy. Everybody had Warcraft 3. Are the games making us dumb? Well, I'll explain why I think this is happening at the end, right? Because I have like my opinion, but I want to read the rest of this to see why it's happening. The decline is identical for both men.
Coward, give your opinion before you read.
Men and women. Okay. Damn. There's some dumb girls down here January 2022. Oh my god. Well, I guess that's whenever Genshin was popular, so that makes sense.
No, this makes perfect sense from a statistical standpoint if you counted in average IQ distribution. Women and men are kind of almost equivalent here. Women are slightly more smarter than on the average, but women are way more retarded and way more genius at the ends. But it's real. Oh wait, no, I misspoke there. Women are on average smarter, but they don't get to the extremes. They are not way more retarded or way more smart at the very ends. They kind of taper off. So this is kind of interesting, but it makes sense for women because women have different needs from men. So it should be roughly exactly around the same, which makes sense. And you know, this is perfectly normal.
And this is about, this is Honkai Star Rail time, somewhere around here. Yeah, it went down. That, makes a lot of sense. Overall strategy is remarkably consistent across male and female gamers. This also means that finding overall finding would be even in proportion to male and female hasn't changed. The decline is similar whether we're looking at US or non-US gamers. Okay, so this is for all the people that say Americans are stupid. You guys are stupid too. Or at least the Western Europeans are. But why has it declined over time? Okay, here we go. There are seemingly more related findings to terms in our media consumption habits. For example, over time, shorter YouTube videos have garnered a higher share of overall views. The duration in shots of movies between each cut has decreased from 16 to...
yeah. This is just to make you a spaz. The more random things happen on the screen, the better it is. For example, I have noticed this also on, it works even on thumbnails. The more random fucking shit you put in there, the typically better it performs. The more colorful, the more autistic it is, the better things do.
In 1930 to 4 in 2010, the average time spent in a computer window app before switching to a browser window has decreased from 2.5 minutes to 47 seconds, and that was only in 2016.
Yeah, makes sense.
In light of this decline, strategy is not likely an idiosyncratic phenomenon among digital gamers, but this parallels the general reduction in attention spans observed by researchers in different fields. We often blame social media for our decreased attention spans, but there's a lack of concrete causal evidence for this. This downward...
Wait, we blame social media? But there's no concrete evidence? You just used social media. Well, not specifically social media, but it's the same category. You just used the example of movies and all of this as an example, then you say, but social media, there is no concrete evidence that social media bad?
Strategy is not likely an idiosyncratic phenomenon across 7 seconds, and that was only in 2016. In light of this decline, strategy is not likely an idiosyncratic phenomenon among digital gamers, but this parallels the general reduction in attention spans observed by researchers in different fields. We often blame social media for our decreased attention spans, but there's a lack of concrete causal evidence for this. This downward trend in media attention can be...
Yeah, but again, what has changed? Exactly these things. Because social media in this case can be actually considered movies and all of these things also. Not how long you use an app though, but you know, if you're gonna put it like this, then it's pretty much the same thing.
Trace back to as far as 1930s. Another potential hypothesis is the increasing negativity, polarization, and intrusiveness and emotional manipulation in social media has created a persistent cognitive overload on the finite cognitive resources we have. Put simply, we may be too worn out by social media to deeply think about things. For example, higher engagement with social media is correlated with lower math and reading scores. So basically, people who use Twitter can't do math. Well, I could have told you that for fucking free. 1984. Not necessarily. Didn't people ignore all news in 1984 because it was nobody could know what was true and what wasn't true? It's not actually because of the emotional overload. I don't remember exactly. What's this here?
I have no idea, but that sounds extremely random.
Gamers are now more easily cognitively overloaded when they play games and more likely to avoid strategic complexity. Wow.
True. I do that. If I go into a game and I need to read 50 paragraphs of some kind of random shit to understand a simple mechanic, well, I don't leave because it's too hard. I leave because the game's probably shit. Listen, if you need to explain some kind of in-game mechanic in 3 paragraphs, 2.5 light novels, then you're just doing a bad job at explaining it. And if you can't even explain your mechanics in games properly, I doubt that you can even make a game properly.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Avoid strategic complexity. Wow. Wow.
How is this surprising? Does he not understand that he's an example of this? World of Warcraft retail, perfect example. What are people doing? Well, they're fucking crying about the raids being too hard. Why are the raids too hard? Because bosses have 3 mechanics. There you go. And this is why Season of Discovery and, well, see, not Phase 3, but, you know, this is why World of Warcraft Classic is popping off so much. Because everything is free. You're killing a big boss, you're getting rewarded, and you don't even need to do a single mechanic on average. Season of Discovery comes along. Bosses have 3 mechanics. My god, is this too hard for... well, 2 to 3 mechanics. Most have 2. My god, is this too hard for the average player to comprehend. And it starts to fail because it gets too hard and it gets too long. Sunken Temple, AK. I talked about this in a different video, but I talked about this yesterday, I think, which is hilarious because I noticed this pattern in the logs. So, if you go in without buffs, on the first, second, and third boss, you're gonna be below the 50th percentile. Yeah. You're gonna be below the 50th percentile if you're playing a rogue or a warrior or a popular class. Without buffs, it doesn't matter that you press buttons good. That's because, you know, there's just such a difference. But everyone starts to die on the 4th and 5th and whatnot boss. And around the 5th or 6th boss, without buffs, you can then get into the 90th, not 90th, but 80th percentile. Without world buffs, and even without most just basic buffs. I have done this. You know, on the first bosses, I'm below 50 in parse, but then suddenly, on the last bosses, I'm at the 80th percentile. How does this magically happen? Oh, it's because everyone dies when the bosses have more than one mechanic. And that's bad. That's really bad.
This is a W post. I love this, by the way. I absolutely love it. This is my favorite thing to look at. Like raid leaders, RTS is a great example of this. Yeah. Okay. So why do I think this is happening? I think that primarily it's happening.
Do you think he? Do you really think? I think he doesn't understand that he's also, you know, been here, but now he is here in the decline.
Because there are more things and more things that are looking for your attention all of the time, and they're trying to catch your attention all of the time. In 2016, nobody had smartphones. In 2003, the only people that really had, cell phones even, were people that were in business, or people that were kind of wealthy. In 2003. In 2016, nobody had smartphones? In 2016? Let me see. No, okay. As I feel like there is 30% more people using smartphones now than there were then. Let's find out. I want to find out right now. 2016 is 70%. And now it's at 90%. Okay. So I'm right, but not as right as I thought I was. I don't think this is big enough to say that. Yeah. So like no difference? 20% isn't a difference. That's a big difference. You were almost exactly right. Not that much, right? But close. 25% is large. Yes. But you said no one used it? Oh yeah. You know, that's how I talk about things. I get myself in trouble like that. I usually talk in absolutes whenever I don't really mean that. No, obviously a lot of people had smartphones in 2016. But I think that obviously like now everybody has them. Whereas before, I said nobody had cell phones. I said in cell phones, what do you call it? People really didn't have a lot of cell phones in 2003.
Boring.
Cell phones were still
no one cares.
Very new in 2003. Like I remember my dad had one, and like it was like some of his like friends at work had them, and that was it. So like now there are so many other ways that your attention can be divided.
His dad had a job? Huh. Wow. I thought he was just a thief.
Divided regularly. Like very easily, your attention can be immediately taken away from you. So I think that's one of the big reasons why this is happening. And I think also, I actually think that their conclusion, this guy's conclusion for this, is 100% on the money. And I think this is a huge factor is that people are so emotionally overwhelmed and cognitively overwhelmed by media that they are just dumber. And you know how I know this? Because I stream. And I know that this is true. Ask a lot of streamers. I am dumber when I stream, and my brain is like at the end of my stream sometimes. This is not really as much the case now anymore, right? Because I've totally lost my mind. But before I was, like not completely insane, I would have to like lay down and like mentally regroup for like an hour.
Yeah, the Hassan Piker takes of streaming is hard.
After my stream, because of how many, like, because think about it, right? You're reading, what do you call it? You're reading.
You're doing stuff. That's hard, dude. That's hard.
100 messages a minute from different people. You're talking. You're looking at this. Like, it's a minute.
You're talking. Imagine that. Man, again, so on the money. Streaming is the hardest job ever.
Mental fucking overload to stream at least the way that I do, right? And so
didn't miss the chance to make himself special out of all the streamers yet again. Asmongold never changed. The only streamer that reads the chat and talks, boys. Whew, man. That's special.
Well, at least like this.
I mean, I also would probably get extremely tired reading a bunch of fucking yes, no's, and meme posts. 100 a minute. Whoa, man. Damn. That's a sensory overload or something.
It's brain bandwidth. Yeah, you only have so much brain bandwidth. So I think that in a much more, a much lesser way, being on social media is going to do the exact same thing. Like, you're scrolling down social media. What are you looking at? Okay, here's somebody dying. Okay, here's a girl in a bikini. My pussy in bio. Okay, here's a link to, so somebody got blown up by a drone strike in Iraq. Oh, wow. Okay, somebody else set themselves on fire for Palestine. Okay, great. Now we have, oh, wow, look at this. Donald Trump said that bleach has no calories, so you should drink it. Okay. Biden doesn't know that he's the president anymore. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, wow, your favorite, the guy that used to listen to his music.
Just don't do these things. I don't think he's accounting for a problem here, that people choose to do these things. It is not. This study is probably hinged not on the fact that some kind of shadowy underground figure made us stupider, but that people also choose willingly to go for the easiest things, the easiest ways to get gratification and stuff like this. If people are scrolling on Twitter, they're scrolling because they want to.
Music, he released a new album. That's great. Okay, awesome. And then, oh yeah, here's a picture of this dog, and it's being nice to a little girl, and oh wow, this is so cute. And then underneath that,
kill me, please.
Yeah. So that's, and like, you think about the emotional damage that does to somebody. I bet it does fuck people up. I really do. That's a lot to process. Yes, it's a lot to process, and you're processing it super, super, super fast. And I think another great example of this is that if you look at a lot of the, I guess I don't really have a lot here. Let me see if I can find any shorts that are like this. I can't, sorry. But anyway, there's a lot of shorts where it's like a guy talking.
The fuck do you mean? Whatever he's talking about, I will assume any single short with the automatic caption thing with colorful texts is one of them. Because the colorful text thing is also one of those things that constantly demands your attention and keeps you engaged.
Like, it's like Dr. K or Thor talking, and then underneath that, there's like a car driving around. Because people can't just focus on one person. They need to have dual sensory overload for them to be feeling like they're, they're fully...
Oh, that's just visual stimulation. Yeah, but again, Asmongold does not understand it. By the way, I did not know what he's gonna mean, but yeah. Again, even this text is designed to do that. Videos with text like this are gonna get your attention for a longer period of time than videos without this.
Fully thinking. Yeah, Subway Surfers, exactly. Every short, yeah. TikTok brain. And I think that I think it's getting pretty bad, man. We need a holiday to collectively fast from the feed. I think that it's very good for people to take time off of social media to do that. And I think that this kind of stuff, this is amazing. I'm going to link you guys the article, too.
Social media is not the only thing that is responsible for this at all. Again, your average game. Again, Call of Duty. What does it reward? Just running in at full speed, maybe gunning down. Have you seen compilation clips of great Call of Duty plays? They're literally guys just go and shoot someone from the back. Because that's the skill. That's crazy.
Like, this is so cool. I can't game without you in the background. Have you ever seen a video clip? Welcome to the internet, it's gold. No, I'm not sure if I have. But here's really what I'm saying. Is that... Because, like, I had this experience with Dragon's Dogma 1. Because... So, I was so hyped up to play Dragon's Dogma 1. And then whenever I played it on stream, I had such a bad experience, right? I hated that stream. It was the worst stream ever, right? And I was so mad that it happened. Because, like, I had looked forward to this so much. I was like, oh, man, like, I really can't wait to play this game. I'm so excited to play this. Like, I'm going to play...
What does that have to do with anything? I have no idea.
This, and the second game's going to come out. I'm so happy. And then I do that, and it was awful. And I was like, no. No, I'm not going to let this happen to myself. And I came back, and I played the entire game, and I turned off everything else besides the game. I wasn't listening to a YouTube video in the background. I wasn't watching somebody stream. I wasn't listening to music.
Okay.
I just turned off the other monitors. I didn't really turn them off, but I just stopped looking at them. And I played the game. I didn't look up the guide on how to beat the game as fast as possible. I just played the game.
What the fuck is that? I'm so confused.
It was amazing. It was incredible.
Wait, again?
And I was so mad. Really what I'm saying is that... Because, like, I had this experience with Dragon's Dogma 1. Because... time off of social media to do that. And I think that this kind of stuff...
Oh, I get it now, I think. He's saying that... any kind of social interaction makes things worse because while streaming he could not enjoy Dragon's Dogma. And then he needed to put everything... No, this is not even... Okay, it's retarded, okay? That's a retarded opinion to spell, but you know, here we again are. It's completely moronic because, well, first of all, this is not the equivalent. You being a streamer and people saying you're bad, haha, missed, do this and that is a different experience than social media in general. It's a completely different thing.
Because, like, I had looked forward to this, played the entire game off, I just stopped looking at them, and I played... It was amazing. It was incredible. Holy...
Yeah, he doesn't understand that this is literally just people ruining your fun because you crave attention, that's why you're streaming. And turns out that this attention that you crave is negative, then people want you to do things that you yourself don't want you to do. This is a completely different thing.
Holy fuck, it was so good. Oh my god. It was amazing. I had so much fun. And I think to myself, why is it that we go and we do something that we know is bad? Well, I mean, that we know is bad, but we like to do it anyway. I'm drinking soda. Here's another fucking example right here, right? And so, yeah, what game? It was called Dragon's Dogma. It's the first game. There's a new one that came out. The new one's pretty good, too. It's a great game. But the first one has a little bit more magic to it, I would say. And the great sword jump attacks are way better. So, yeah. It gives good brain stuff. Yeah, exactly. And so, same with Dark Souls 1. No, I played Dark Souls 1 on stream and I loved it. I played Dark Souls 2 off stream and I hated it. Then I played Dark Souls 2 on stream and I also hated it. Because it's a piece of shit game, and anybody who...
Let me explain why he loves Dark Souls 1. Because, why he in general loves these things. Because when there is a game that can be made easier by advice, well, he he's just gonna in general love it. That's pretty much how it is. Asmongold does not play games. He just plays a game, then does something, and it's not working out, and then he just waits until the chat tells him what to do and how to overcome this situation. That's what he does. And again, that's also kind of a demonstration why you're now right here on the graph.
Who likes it's an idiot. So, yeah, anyway, I think that there have been other games that I played off stream. So, like, I'm going to take you guys through, like, a few off stream games that I did. Let's see. Where's an off stream game? I don't do a lot, right? But I do occasionally. I played through Elden Ring a little bit off stream, but that doesn't really count. Enshrouded. I played Enshrouded a bit more off stream. Really enjoyed it a lot. Hades 1. I played all of Hades 1. I never streamed a single minute of this game. I put 30 seconds.
Makes sense. And in Shrouded, you can't really fuck up. Well, you can honestly fuck up. And in Hades, you also can't fuck up. You know, it's just skill. Okay? Pretty much for the most part. Well, and in Shrouded, you can go to the wrong place. But in general, it's really hard to actually do the really, really incorrect thing. So, essentially, Asmongold boils down to, hey, game that I play that does not have really a correct thing to do where skill matters and blah blah blah. I don't want to play it on stream because people are gonna call me shit and say I should get good and all of those things. So he plays it off stream. He plays a game where his chat can solve all of his issues and tell him what to do. He plays it because, well, they solve all of his issues. Makes sense.
7 hours into it. Incredible fucking game. Oh my god, it's so good. Hades 2 is a great game, but I think the story in Hades 1 so far is way better for like the same point in time. Although, of course, I know the story isn't finished with Hades 2. I feel like Hades 1 was just, oh my god, it was so great.
Yeah, Hades 1 is a great game. 2 seems more interesting. I haven't played it.
Let's see. I'll go to some other ones. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down, make sure I can find any more of them. I've uninstalled some of these, so that's why I wanted to make sure that I got all of them. I think another, well, like the other big example that I have that I was like kind of thinking about is Valheim. I have put 300 hours into Valheim. And my first 200 hours of this game were not on stream. I never spent a single minute on stream playing this game. All I did was I just played it in my... I remember I stayed up for 30 hours straight playing Valheim. New update, have you played it? Not yet. I'm waiting for it to come out of beta.
Is this the end? Yeah, it seems like
I don't...
it's the
Like,
end.
nobody's talking about this. I feel like this is a really big deal.
Meh, not really. Everyone's getting stupider. That's just how the modern world is made. Man. And, by the way, I can also feel it in myself. I could reliably multiply two-digit numbers and two-digit numbers with three-digit numbers easily. I could do percentiles and not, oh, it's 25% of blah, blah, blah. I mean, 3.7%, those kind of things. But, you know, since I stopped working in, you know, finance and whatnot, that kind of has slowly faded away. I'm a lot worse at that, you know. Probably could use to place a little bit of Sudoku or something like that to get back a little bit of that capacity. But I don't know, it's fine. Anyway, this was Guzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye bye.